Welcome back, guys. Okay, as you all know, we start from the daily time frame. Okay, let me start by saying how last week trade went. Start from 4 hours time frame. Last week, okay, I'll draw the support, the resistance. Okay, then remember we had a support around this point here. Market was supporting around this point. Then we're hoping to buy. We're hoping to buy when the market got to this point, and then take it to the upside. But the market didn't quite play out that way. Instead, let's dive into the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so the market didn't give us the buy. Instead, it broke out to the downside. We're hoping to buy at this point, but the market shot up for a little bit, then broke to the downside, gave us a retest, then pushed all the way down. Then I adjusted my analysis. So this week, then we have, as you all know, our first touch, second touch, our third touch, and this is the support. At the support we buy, at the resistance we sell. The market was currently at this support, cut the buys from this point to this zone. But now let's see what we have for the week. Okay, on the 4 hours time frame, let's start with 4 hour time frame. There's nothing much to see on the daily time frame. Okay, somehow similar to what we had last week. This is the support. This is the resistance. Then the support. Market gave us a double bottom at this point. That's why we took our buys. When I came out, I exited the trade at this resistance. Took buys after seeing this support, then pushed all the way to the resistance, and I got out of the trade at this point. So this week we're expecting Nasdaq to break to the upside, give us a retest, then push to the upside. Like this is what I mean. Expect the break to the upside, then retest, then push to the upside. Or we have to cater for every possibility. We could get to this point, as it has been pushing up. We could get to this point. The market refused to break the resistance, then get a push to the downside before giving us the push to the upside. So that's what we're expecting this week. If the market does break, let me delete this. So if the market does break out of this point, we know we're expecting a retest, then we'll take our buys from there. But if the market doesn't play out that way, we know we're going to take sales from this point, then cut the sales all the way to the support zone. So let's dive into US30. This to US30. Okay, let's check from daily time frame. From daily time frame, and plot my support line. This is my support trend line, and this is my resisting trend line. This is my resisting trend line. The trend line doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure it caters for more touches. Just draw your trend line to cater for most touches. As we have our first touch, this is the first, second, 3 touches at this point. Then at the support also, at the support we have our first, second and third touch at this point. So let's dive to the 4 hours time frame, see what's going on. Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay, you see the market has been moving downward. Let me draw my support structure, support trend line, then our resistance, our horizontal resistance and support. Let's plot our horizontal resistance and support. Okay, 1 hour time frame. So that's support for quite some time. Then the market pushed to the upside, touched this support trend line for a 3rd time, then pushed to the upside, gave us a breakout retest. This is called a breakout retest. So the market is done retesting. We actually missed some buys at this point, but it's not too late. We could still grab the buy position from here. Then expecting the market to push all the way to the upside, but I do see a resistance at this point. See a strong resistance at this point. So basically I'm going to scalp the buys. I'm going to scalp the buys to this resistance point. Then if we do get a breakout, retest on this support structure, then we could push price to the upside. However, we're not the market makers. Let's cater for other possibilities. So what could happen is, let me delete this. So what could happen is, price could push to this point, reverse to touch this support trend line before pushing all the way to the upside. That's why I said I'm going to scalp the buys. That's why I said I'm going to scalp the buys to this resistance zone here. So that's what we're expecting for US30. We're expecting buys. So let's see how the market plays out. Now let's dive on to the last indices for today, which is German 30. Okay, German 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first plot my supporting trend line from this point all the way here. Don't mind if the market, your trend line cuts through the chart sometimes, since the market does not reverse exactly on the support or resisting trend line. So we have our first touch here, second touch right here, third touch right here, and obviously the 4th touch. And I'm gonna draw my resisting trend line. Remember, just make sure you cater for most touches. We have our first touch here, second touch, and third touch. That's anticipating a 4th touch. So now we draw my zone, a support and resistance zone. So basically the market is retesting on this zone, acting as a support. So we could be expecting push to the upside. However, we can't really see anything on daily time frame. Let's dive in deeper to get a clearer view of the market. on the 4-hour, I do see this is my resisting trend line and my supporting trend line. Make sure I get that from most touch. So I have my first touch right here, the second, and then market broke out, then broke back into this trend line, giving us a retest, confirming the buys. Then market pushed to the upside. So basically, the market pushed up, bounced off this zone, this resistance zone, then pushing to the downside, giving us a retest, then before the actual move to the upside. But however, guys, market could get to this point, market could get to this resistance zone, then break back into this trend line, giving us, confirming ourselves. Hence, I will be scalping the buys. Up to this point. Then if the market gives us a breakout, I'm sure what I'm talking about. But then if the market pushes up, break out of this resistance, becoming a support, then I'm going to take my buys and push it all the way to the upside. Basically this point right here. So that's what we're expecting for this week, guys. We're expecting buys on Nasdaq, German 30 and US 30. So thank you guys for watching the video, and see you in the next one.